record coming out at the end of the week, huh?
Yeah.
And
it seems hard to believe, to be honest. It's such a strange time to be releasing a record. So
it's a strange time to be doing everything.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, so it does feel weird, but yes, Friday.
Yep.
So
so what do you got planned on the day? Anything exciting?
Well, the night before we're going to have a listening party, which is something we haven't done before. But I thought, because we can't tour properly until next year, that it'd be nice to do a little celebration, because normally on the day of a release you're actually just like at your computer, you know, like writing emails or doing interviews or whatever. So so we're actually having a little party at the surgery where we recorded it.
The surgery.
And we're gonna zoom in Joel Mulholland.
Right. Is he up here in Auckland?
He's up in Auckland, so he can't come, but we're going to zoom him in so he can have a virtual party experience.
Gotcha. So Joel kind of co-produced the album with you, or what? How did you guys work together to make the Overflow?
Yeah, pretty much like that. So I worked with Joel on a song at a writing camp in Australia.
Right.
And I'd met him before, but it was like meeting him again, I guess. I hadn't seen him for a long time. And just really liked his creativity, and sort of his way of working is really it sort of matches how I like to work. So and for this record we wanted to do something that felt like a real progression on our previous record. So working with him, it just made it a little grittier and bolder, and he's got lots of great synths and guitars, and so it was really good to work with him and have an outside perspective while still keeping myself and Ben still co-produced it, and then we still shared it with the rest of the band and was like, what do you think? So still very much a collective.
Now you touched on what I was going to ask you. Well, because The Weight of Melted Snow came out previously, not too long ago. It doesn't seem like, but maybe it was. I don't know. So, and that did very well from what I remember. So I was wondering if you were inclined to, how did the success of that record affect how this record sounds?
I mean, that record was quite a serious record, I would say. Like it was a time of change, so it has a particular sound about it, and every record you make, it just seems to fit with whatever your life is like at the time, so it's just really like a progression of who I am, I guess, and the sounds the band are interested in. I don't know, it's funny because when you're the artist, you don't really look at something and see it as being successful or not really at all. I mean, I guess it's good.
I think some people do, because I've seen people like sitting there counting how many plays they've got on Spotify on the day of the release and something. So I take it you're not one of those.
I mean, I do care, but I also, because it's nice to know people like the music, but also I think the music exists outside of that anyway. So that's really important, that it's not, they're two different things. Yeah.
Okay. So you recorded most of the record at the surgery with Joel and Ben and whoever. So tell me a little bit about how all of you worked together, and what was it like? I mean, because I assume you weren't in lockdown or anything. So it was a little while ago.
No, well, so we actually we recorded it in February in 2020, most of it, like all the drums and the bass and the main parts at the surgery. And that was obviously just before the first lockdown.
That's right.
We had an inkling of what was about to come. But I feel like the record, despite that, kind of, it covers themes that are related. But so we worked on these songs for some of them for several years, and some of them, I think one of them I wrote the night before we brought it into the studio, and so no one had heard it until I was like, and here's the final song.
And how important is the feedback you get when you present a song to everybody else? What do you want to hear from them? What do they give you back?
Well, normally I play a song to John first. He's like my sounding board. He's not really one who beats around the bush. So if he likes it, he likes it, and if he doesn't, he doesn't. And I think that's quite good.
Yeah.
And then it's just like trying to develop some of the songs. So some of them, like Ouija Board, it started out as like a quiet folk guitar track, and we really had to battle to get it to sound how it sounds now. Like I feel like Hikarangi had a really hard time because I kept telling him I didn't like what he was doing, but in the end he did amazing stuff. So we just have to like work through trying to figure out how to make something sound right. And it's really important because for me it's like about how it resonates in here.
Yep.
And so it's like each sound has to match that. Yeah.
So you
which
mentioned
is sometimes hard to explain.
Yeah. You mentioned Ouija board. To me, it kind of had a hypnotic effect.
'Cause you don't
Yeah, I think it's a little bit haunted and slightly whimsical,
Right.
And like spookiness, I suppose. And it's also a little there are a few lines in there that are like mildly humorous to myself. I don't know if they'll be taken that way by anyone else, but I enjoyed writing them. So
cool.
Yeah.
And another one I want to touch on was Passengers, because it sounds kind of more electronic beaty than some of the other ones. So
well, that's actually the last one I wrote.
Oh,
so
that's
the one I wrote the night before I took it into the studio. I've been doing lots of co-writing the previous year, and one of the tracks, The Outsider, was actually from a co-writing session in America.
Right.
But yeah, so I guess I'd had this like opening up to the more like the pop world, and like this faster way of working, and so that probably feeds into the sound of Passengers a little bit.
Right.
But yeah, that song's like about kindness and social media, and like the destructive nature of social media for community, even though it brings people together as well. It's so just touching on lots of things.
Gotcha. Okay. And you mentioned The Outsider. I think I read somewhere you consider it kind of an introvert's theme.
If I could let go, would I fit in? Would I be what they want without all my inhibitions? Caught on the edge, reading my phone. So maybe I'll feel like I'm not alone.
You look at yourself as an outsider?
Certainly when I wrote it, I did. I just arrived in LA, and it was really, I hadn't spent anywhere for a long time, by myself in a new city. So I, turned up and then got invited to a party with Radiohead and other, various people. So I felt, like this funny little New Zealand person who just got dropped into this world. And so, it brings up those kind of those feelings.
How was the party?
It was good. It was nice. Yeah. I met lots of really great people and some heroes of mine, which was a surprise. But yeah, like Moses suddenly was there and was singing. And so it's just.
And when you meet somebody that you look up to musically, do you have something kind of that you want to say to them, or that you want to get from them, or what kind of interaction?
Not really. I feel like if it would get a bit tiresome if people always wanted something from you. So I was just there because some friends were there. So I just was there to, I don't know, be there.
Just to be there. Cool. Now there's also a song called Darkness, which I noticed the production on that was particularly lush and full. Maybe
the dark arts, yeah.
Broken pieces, I don't have to keep them to sweep them off in circles, display them round in my living room. To love them is to know how it feels to be lost and to be left. A barnacle shell and a half-used film, marrow of a bone and a picture I drew.
Yeah, that one I feel like kind of goes back a little to more of the weight of melted snow.
Right.
Our last record, the sound of that.
Yep.
It has this kind of chamber-esque, like rolling parts, and the piano parts quite classical with these arpeggiations. I really like how that one turned out. It's sort of a reflection on memory and how you can get attached to objects, because like even if they're broken or whatever, they you kind of get sentimental about these things, and this is how you become a hoarder. So it's my hoarding song.
Oh, you're a hoarder, are you?
No, I'm not a hoarder.
Okay.
I mean, I could be.
All right. Well, I just hoard records. So everybody has their weakness.
Exactly. Yeah, I think I hoard microphones.
Microphones.
And piano.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, that's useful at least, and they don't take up a lot of space, do they?
Pianos do, but
The pianos do, but microphones.
at my dad's house. So it's, yeah.
How many pianos do you have?
I only have 3 real pianos, and then I've got 3 keyboards. But
Right.
by many musician standards, I don't have that many instruments.
Oh, okay. All righty. So there's 10 tracks that make up the album. What were you thinking sequencing it? Do you want it to kind of go from one place to another? Is that how you think when you're putting together a record like that?
Yeah. It's quite a challenge to put together a set list for a record. We've spent a long time on it, on the flow. And I think ultimately what I wanted to do was we put songs at the beginning that were quite optimistic, but then wanted to perhaps put a few that would surprise people the most at the top of the track list.
Right.
And then the last, like maybe 3 before the very last one, are kind of more journeying tracks. One called Nothing in My Hands and Poetry Girl. And then the last track was the one I actually wrote in Australia with Joel. And it's just feels like a closing track to me. So,
cool.
Yeah.
I see you've got a few videos out already. So in general, how much effort do you put in yourself for the videos and how you present your music? Like there's one for Walk the Desert. I see you're out rowing a boat and stuff. So you're obviously in for something.
Like a cork in the bottle, hope it holds it in. The ones who quiet are just sensitive. Carefully constructed a storefront line. Don't you preach it, you'll just make me cry.
Yeah, I really, because I'm quite a visual person, so for me, the videos are never half-hearted. You know, we put in almost just as much thought into them as to the songs themselves. Maybe not so much with Walk the Desert. That was one where we didn't have so much money left, but we had the same team that we had to make The Outsider. So so I worked with Martin Sagadin on most of the videos. But yeah, I love to kind of work on developing them. And we've just got an amazing team of people we've worked with for many years now. Misma Andrews, who made the Ouija Board video, which is all done on film. And, so we do put a lot of effort into those. Just because, I mean, it definitely is doesn't make any sense financially, but it
does anything about the music business make any sense financially these days?
I mean, probably not, especially not in COVID times, but I really like what we've made. So yeah, hopefully people will delve into them a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
So in general terms, has the the last year been tough for you and other musicians that you know of, as far as, because nobody can tour, obviously, or if you do, you just do the occasional gig. So what's it been like?
Yeah, I think we've been very lucky. We seem to have toured in all of the gaps between
Right.
COVID-19. So we toured in August,
Mm.
just before the lockdown, and we toured in December, I think, just after some. Anyway, we seem to have slipped in between the cracks.
Right.
Definitely have had things cancelled, like we have had an entire tour booked for December, which we didn't even announce. So
Right. Just never mind. That's not
Yeah.
going to happen. Well, there are strange times at the moment, I suppose, and it's pretty hard to plan anything, I guess. It's kind of,
it is. So
So did you have-
yeah. So it's definitely been interesting. But for me personally, I feel like I've been pretty lucky, really, like in terms of what music I've been able to do, and
right.
Yeah. So
Did you have second thoughts about releasing the record now, or thinking maybe?
I feel
be
like
better to wait?
the ball was in motion, and no one knew that this particular lockdown would have happened for Auckland. So
Right.
We just, once you start, it feels like you might as well carry on. And I think things are just a little bit more slow burning, like the vinyl comes out a little bit later because all
Yep.
the factories have been closed.
There's a big
and-
backup on the vinyl. Everybody's telling me, well, the record's coming out tomorrow, but the vinyl won't be out for 3 months. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think it will be out this certainly in December.
Right.
And the overseas vinyls arrived over there. So we do have vinyl, but yeah, it's certainly an interesting time for everyone.
Yes.
So I just hope that people have enough bandwidth to pay attention to
Yep.
give it some time. So
Cool. So when you do get in front of people, are you looking forward to it? Do you miss it? How are these songs going to present themselves?
yeah, I mean, I love playing a show. I think for me the recording and production is actually my favorite part of the entire thing. So
Really?
we've had that fun bit, and
Right.
the touring.
Now you got to do the work.
Well, the promotion is, and the admin of it all is the worst part, but
Right.
I love doing the shows and actually like connecting with people and seeing what people, how they feel about it. And I just hope that people will get to come and
I
hear it.
gotta guess it's going to be a little different out there this time around, because people are going to be in a different state of mind than they have. Some of them have been locked up and kind of freaking out, and some people have been chilled and just like, this is great. So
Yeah, I think because our music is like you can sit down and listen to our music. You don't have to like get in a mosh pit or anything. So it's perfect music for social distancing, really. I think it will be fine. And yeah, we've got a great band, and we've just been doing a couple of live sessions we haven't released yet with extra backing vocalists. So
Oh,
I
cool.
think on tour we might bring in
Line 'em up.
a few special guests.
That'll
Yeah.
be fun. Well, hopefully you'll be up here in Auckland sometime in the near future. We'll see
Yeah.
how things go. There's just no way of predicting anything, I don't think, at this point.
Yeah. Well, we are hoping to be up for the Auckland Folk Festival.
Oh,
in
yes,
January.
it's a Kumul. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
been.
Yeah, so we
went
should
to-
be-
were
should
you
be
there
there.
last year? I can't remember.
No, this will be our first time back in since 2012, I think. So
Right. Yeah, it was a good one
Um,
last year. So I think people are really
Oh.
looking forward to it. It kind of
Yeah.
did something. It connected with a lot of people for some reason. So it'll be good.
yeah, I mean, they're really great at curating interesting lineups, and I know they just have a really nice feeling in
does.
in the space. So
Yep.
I think it'll be good, and it'll be our first festival following the release. So
Cool.
and probably our first or second performance. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I'm looking forward to that already. Thanks. And I'm looking forward to record Friday, not too far away, a couple of days.
Yes.
Very exciting. So, all righty. Well, thank you very much. I'll let you go.
Thank you so much.
Go
for
play in the
having me.
sun.
Yes, and good luck. Hopefully your lockdown. I mean, it's near the end. I can tell.
I can feel it.
I think
Yes.
now you can feel it. Yeah. It's gonna be
All right.
a lovely summer. Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.